Welcome to Tips and Tricks for Regulating Emotions for Kids. Today we're going to learn about emotion regulation in the form of impulse control. So impulses are those really strong feelings, like you really want to do something. So for instance, say you see a delicious piece of fruit or candy or cookie or whatever it is that you really like. And you see it sitting right next to you, and you might feel the impulse to just grab it and eat it. That's what an impulse is. It's when you really want to do something. So you might have an impulse to pull your sister's hair, or an impulse to jump on the bed, or an impulse to get out of your seat during class and run over to the window. So these are all things that you really want to do, and it's a strong feeling. And you might notice that when you really want to do something, your body kind of takes over. So you might jump out of your seat before you even have time to think about what you're going to do. So that's when our impulses start to get a hold of us. So what we can do about impulses is we can learn about them, and we can recognize when we're feeling an impulse. And we can practice holding off on behaving or acting on the impulse. So for instance, this delicious strawberry has been sitting here just kind of staring at me. And I just really want to pick it up and eat it. So we're going to try this at home. Take a break right now and have your parent or an adult help you find a treat or a snack or a toy that you really love. Something that is so tempting, like you just want to have it in your hands the second that you see it. So a lot of kids could use maybe a fruit snack or a cookie of some sort, and have your parent place the item on a plate. And you can set the plate down right in front of you on the table or on the floor. And we're going to just practice being mindful. So mindfulness is a way of noticing and paying attention to things such as impulses. So we're going to start with the item in front of us. And you can pause the video now if you need to take a few minutes to gather your item. Otherwise, we'll get started with this mindfulness exercise aimed at noticing our impulses or the things that we really want to do. Okay? So, this might be challenging, and this always can take a lot of practice. For a lot of kids, it's really difficult, and for some adults. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our item that's very tempting to us, something that we really want, and we're going to practice just noticing those feelings, the feelings of our impulse. So we're going to take the item and we're going to pick it up and put it in our hands. And you can even lay it flat in your palm and just notice how it feels as it's sitting in your palm. So maybe it's cold, or maybe it's warm. It might feel sticky or soft. And just spend time noticing what it feels like in your hand. And if you're feeling a strong feeling, like you really want to just pick it up and take a bite, notice that too. That's your impulse talking. So, just let yourself look with your eyes and explore the item with your fingers and your hand. But don't try really hard not to put it in your mouth and eat it, okay? So I'm noticing that the texture of the item is very bumpy, and the color looks very dark. It's a very dark, bright red. I wonder what your item looks like. Take some time right now to explore it using your eyes and your fingers. Just explore the item and describe it, and try really hard not to eat it. Okay, so you probably got a chance now to explore the item, and at this point you might be feeling really strong feelings that you want to put the item down and go do something else. Or maybe your impulse is telling you, eat the item, put it in your mouth. So we're just going to notice that. If you feel that, just notice it, and you can give it a label. You can give it a name and call it impulse. Something you really, really, really want to do. Okay? So now we're going to take the item and we're going to use our next sense of smell to explore the item. So we're going to take the item up close to our face, and we're going to notice if there's any smell. Is it a big smell or a small smell? Or is there no smell at all? Does it smell good or does it smell bad? Sweet? Sour? Savory? Just notice all the different things that you can by using your nose and your sense of smell. And at this point, you might be feeling really strong impulses because the item is really close to your mouth. And sometimes when you smell the item, you might even feel your mouth watering, or you might feel just a really strong urge or really strong feeling like you want to just put the item in your mouth and start chewing. Okay? But we're gonna really try hard not to do that. We're gonna practice just noticing that impulse, and we're going to practice just continuing to explore with our other senses first. Okay. So we've felt the item with our hands, we've looked at the item with our eyes, we've smelled it with our nose. Now we can listen to it, and we can see as we rub our fingers along, does it make a certain noise? Mine makes a certain noise when I touch it on the top where the green stem is. It sounds almost like a rustling. And right now I'm feeling a really strong impulse that I just want to take a bite, just a little bite. And I'm going to just notice that, and I'm going to keep going with my exploration. So now I'm going to put the strawberry down, and you can put your item back down on the plate. And we're just going to take a minute to just notice the item, to remember all of the different things we've learned about it through exploring with our different senses. So remember how it felt, remember how it smelled, how it sounded. And next, we're going to practice testing our impulses. So we're going to bring the item close to our mouth, and we are going to touch the item to our lips. And just notice how that feels. My item is feeling pretty cold, and I notice that my mouth is watering, and I really, really, really want to take a bite. So I'm going to just slowly put the item up to my lips and practice having the impulse, but not taking a bite. See if you can try the same. Put the item up to your lips and just hold off on taking a bite. Hold it for 5 seconds. Okay, good job. Now we're going to practice taking a bite of the item, holding a piece of it in our mouth, but not chewing and not eating it. So this might be really hard for some of you, because once you get something in your mouth that's delicious, Your impulse is telling you, chew it, eat it. It's delicious. So we're going to just notice those feelings, the really, really strong feelings like you want to eat it, like you want to just chew it up, swallow it, and enjoy it. But we're going to wait. So now take a small bite and just hold it in your mouth without chewing or swallowing it. Notice the impulse to want to chew it. Your mouth might be watering right now, and your teeth might be tightening up, just getting ready to take a bite. And just notice that impulse that you really, really just want to eat it. Wait 5 seconds, and then you can enjoy. That was nice, wasn't it? Okay, now slowly enjoy the rest of your object. Enjoy each bite and notice the impulse. So take another bite and hold it this time just for a second. And notice that you really want to bite it and that you really want to just eat the whole thing. And that's your impulse talking. So by practicing this, we can practice noticing our impulses, noticing when we really, really, really want to do something, and then practicing waiting, pressing the pause button, and thinking about something before we actually do it. So this is a good skill to learn, and it's easy to practice with a food object or an item like that. And you can even practice this with your parents or another adult in the house and have them give you instructions. You can play the stop and go game, the green light, red light game, and begin eating something and then have the adult in your house tell you to stop, pause, and then just practice noticing your impulse and noticing when you really, really want to do something. Okay, now enjoy.